For the nation's capital, Monrovia, good morning and welcome to King's Newsroom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Thursday, December 4th, 2025, and I'm Newton Tokwa presenting stories we following this morning. Head of Liberia's parliamentary dedication to ECOWAS, Senator Edwin Snow calls for stronger measures to ensure the sustainability and protection of democratic governance across the sub-region, terms Guinea-Bissau military takeover as threat to democracy. Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission resumes prosecution in latest officials accused of misappropriating funds allocated for the 2022 National Population Housing Census. Namod Partners Executive Director Eddie Jawulo endorses Senator Darius Dillon's proposed bill calling for the reduction of all lawmakers' salary from US 8,000 to 5,000 monthly, urges Liberians to petition their lawmakers to support the bill. Away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament has accused British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental destruction while training in the country. These plus the news bulletin, our international developments, and all package. We are taking a very short break to be right back. Thanks for rejoining, and let's now have the news bulletin. Head of Liberia's parliamentary dedication to ECOWAS, Senator Edwin Snow has emphasized the urgent need for stronger measures to ensure the sustainability of peace and protection of democratic governance across the sub-region. Senator Snow's remark followed the November 26 military coup in Guinea-Bissau, during which the military announced they had seized full control of the country. Addressing a press conference in Parliament in Abuja, Nigeria, Senator Snow condemned the military takeover in Guinea-Bissau, describing it as a threat to democratic stability in West Africa. According to him, he and other members of ECOWAS electoral observer mission had engagement with all stakeholders, particularly the Kennedys, in an effort to encourage acceptance of the election results in the interest of preserving peace and stability in Guinea-Bissau. Snow, however, expressed dismay at the manner in which the military allegedly hijacked state authority, asserting that such action undermines the core principles and values of democracy, and also recounted on all military takeovers in the region, stressing that such contradicts the fundamental essence of democratic governance. The Liberian dedication had further urged ECOWAS to compel the military leadership in Guinea-Bissau to release the official election results and return the country to democratic governance. In a related development, Bon County District 6 Representative Mohamed Brice Mensah has blasted ECOWAS for overlooking conflict triggers in countries that led coup d'etat, but only condemned when the damage is already done. She mentioned that the fourth-term situation in Ivory Coast, the political issues in Gambia, Togo, and the insecurity in northern Nigeria as issues that are either supported by some members or downplayed. She called for a better approach in handling such issues, warning that ECOWAS could be left with only 5 members states if actions are not taken. At long last, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, LACC, has resumed prosecution in latest officials that are entangled in the census corruption case. In 2022, former senior officials of the Liberia Institute of Statistics and Youth Information Services were accused of misappropriating funds allocated for the 2022 National Population and Housing Census. The anti-graft institution in the press statement issued Wednesday said the case formally resumed from Criminal Code C following the selection of that and induction of the 15-member jury. The defendants currently before the court include Dominic Pay, former controller of Legis, and Lawrence George, former Deputy Director General for Administration. According to LDCC, the former Deputy Director General for Information and Coordination, Wilmer Smith, was served from the case with a schedule to be tried separately after the court confirmed he remains outside the jurisdiction of Liberia. The case therefore will proceed as a jury trial. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission said prosecution has presented claims of irregular procurement activities, including the purchase of a second-hand generator in an inflated price instead of a new unit as approved in the project budget. Namu Partners Executive Director Eli Jawood has made a compelling case in support of Senator Darius Dillon's proposed reduction of all lawmakers' salary from US 8,000 to US 5,000 monthly. Jawood, in a Facebook post Tuesday, challenged Liberians to place calls or text their lawmakers as a means of petitioning them to support the proposed salary reduction bill. According to him, Senator Abraham Darius Dillon bill proposes reduction of lawmaker salaries to 5,000, adding that as a voter, citizens can make a difference. Eddie also wants citizens to use the legislative engagement guide to understand the lawmaking process, stating that the bill, if passed, will save the country US 4 million annually. And also caution Liberians to remember that elected officials work for them, stating the importance of making the national budget for the people, by the people, and work for the people. The bill introduced at the Liberian Senate during a special meeting Tuesday was rejected by several senators, including Simeon B. Taylor of Grand Cape County, Zoe Emmanuel Pena of Grand Gila County, Joseph Jala of Lofa County, among many others. The opposing senators claimed the passage of the bill would hinder the discharge of their duties. The introduction of the bill, which prompted tension and agitation among senators, resulted into immediate suspension of deliberation on the bill. Meanwhile, Kings FM has hinted by legislative sources that the bill is expected to be reintroduced for further deliberation next week. District number 10 Representative Yeke Koluba has criticized House Speaker Richard Kuhn and Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler for failing to extend condolences following the death of his mother. Representative Koluba noted that several national leaders, including former President Josh Weah, former Speaker Funatikofa Jefferson Koji, Senate Pro Tempore Yombli Kanga Lawrence, and the Unity Party Chairman Luther Tape had reached out to sympathize with him during his loss. Speaking on Wednesday, when supporters of the Coalition for Democratic Change visited him at his residence, Representative Koluba said he had informed members of the House of Representatives about his mother's passing through their official chat room, but claimed that one colleague responded dismissively, suggesting he was merely seeking financial assistance. Representative Koluba added that he intends to formally address what he described as neglect by the House leadership after completing a 2-month period of mourning. CDC Broom County chapter is set to break ground for the construction of its new party headquarters on Saturday, December 6 in Banga. Speaking to reporters at the proposed groundbreaking site, James Tower Zonan, IT chairman of the CDC in Broom County, said the initiative is being fully undertaken by partisans in the county. He noted that the party in Broom County is determined to build a permanent headquarters without delay after years of operating from rented facilities. Zonan emphasized that the CDC remains a formidable force to reckon with across the political landscape of Liberia, noting that the party stands firm ahead of 2029 general and presidential elections. The Solidarity and Trust for a New Day has vowed to resist any attempt to detour its peaceful protesters from staging protests on the road between the Executive Mansion and the Capitol building on December 17 in Monrovia. STAN's national chairman, Moba Molu, said no amount of negotiation, hot water tanks, and bullets from the Liberian National Police will detour the December 17 protests from taking place at the property of the Liberian people. Molu, during a press conference on Tuesday, argued that if the group staged protests against the proliferation of dangerous drugs could be allowed to stage protests on the road between the Executive Mansion and the Capitol building, STAN cannot be stopped from staging its peaceful protests at the front of the Executive Mansion. He pointed out that the December 17 codenamed Lead or Leave enough is enough will be sustained until President Joseph Boakai can respond to the demand of the protesters. According to Stand Chairman, the July 17 peaceful protest was staged on the road between the Capitol building and the main campus of the University of Liberia, but in this case, no negotiation for change of venue will be accepted. The Liberian National Police on Tuesday received a new supply of high-performance Samsung tablets donated by the International Development Law Organization with support from the United States government aimed at enhancing crime data collection and indicator reporting nationwide. The devices are expected to improve the management and documentation of trafficking in persons cases across the country. Delivering RDLO country manager Shin Yu Longo Oko commended the strong partnership between IDLO and the LMP supported by the U.S. Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs since 2018, which continues to advance investigations, expand tape awareness, and strengthen the quality of trafficking data. Speaking at the handover ceremony, U.S. Embassy Shashi Affairs Zul Zajonin praised IDLO's leadership and reaffirmed the United States' commitment to supporting Liberia's rule of law institutions. It also highlighted the role of the UN Development Program in establishing the crime statistics information system, noting that the system will now be upgraded to incorporate tip data as part of this new initiative. Also speaking, LMP Inspector General Gregory Coleman expressed gratitude to IDLO, the U.S. government, and UNDP for their continuous support. It emphasized that the new digital tools will modernize police operations and bolster Liberia's national response to human trafficking. On Tuesday, serious tension erupted in section after lawmakers observed the appearance of process of SOE's heirs who had earlier said should appear for the draft 2026 national budget hearings. Instead of heirs of SOEs appearing in person, the SOE leadership sent process to address critical national budgetary concerns, something members of the House of Representatives described as disrespectful and deliberate attempt to evade accountability. According to several representatives, the absence of the principal administrators undermines the legislators' efforts to understand why key revenue-generating institutions have failed to remit funds to the national budget. Lawmakers insisted that only the heads of these entities can provide accurate explanations for the ongoing revenue shortfall. The situation sparked a heated exchange on the floor, with some legislators calling for punitive actions against SOEs that continue to ignore legislative summons and accountability measures. At the end of the debate, lawmakers are vowing to hold these institutions accountable, emphasizing the importance of transparency and responsibility in national budget management. Head of SOE's refusal to appear Tuesday for budget hearings has added to ongoing budget hearing rift between both houses. Opposition Alternative National Congress has expressed disappointment in what it described as the Unity Party-led government continued failure to address key national concerns. In a statement issued Tuesday, the ANC accused the government of failing to improve the Liberian economy that will cater to the bread and butter issue of the ordinary Liberians. According to opposition political party, instead of channeling time, resources, and political energy into acquiring and expanding its party headquarters across the country, the government should focus on improving the economy. The statement emphasized that countless Liberians are struggling with rising prices of commodities, unemployment, failing health sector, deteriorating infrastructure, and is a crumble economy, noting that the United Party administration has chosen securing political real estate rather than providing real solutions. ANC press statement follows its youth congress opposition to the government 1.2 billion 2026 draft national budget. During a press conference on Monday, ANC youth chairman Ali Kadi described the 2026 national budget as deception, adding that it contains bloated 1.2 billion revenue projection, which is not a plan for national development. And Several members of the Liberian National Bar Association have begun expressing dissatisfaction in the bar President Councillor Bonald Vama ahead of the bar much anticipated annual convention in Ganta. The internal discontent among some members of the bar stemmed from Councillor Bonald Vama appointment and subsequent confirmation as chairperson and chief executive officer of the Law Reform Commission. A senior member of the LMBA who spoke to King's FM on anonymity wants Councillor Vama to immediately resign as president of the bar to focus his new portfolio. He argued that serving as chairperson and executive officer of the Law Reform Commission, a government institution, presents a clear conflict of interest and threatens the independence and integrity of the bar. The LMBA senior member who referenced Councillor Michael Wickens' resignation as president of the bar due to his appointment as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court in 2014, said Councillor Vama's refusal to resign could plunge Liberia's oldest professional legal institution into deeper internal conflict. However, Councillor Bonald Vama, during a press conference Monday, noted that he will not be pushed to either resign or making any pronouncement outside of the established constitutional processes of the LMBA. The LMBA president added that his obligation has always been to maintain a bar that is cohesive, vibrant, and peaceful, noting that members will always have different viewpoints. Well, if you just joining us, a reminder you're listening to King's News Run, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we're following this morning. Head of Liberia's parliamentary delegation to ECOWAS, Senator Edwin Snow calls for stronger measures to ensure sustainability and protection of democratic governance across the sub-region, terms Guinea-Bissau military takeover as a threat to democracy. Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission resumes. Prosecution alleges officials accused of misappropriating funds allocated for the 2022 National Population and Housing Census. NAMOD Partners Executive Director Eddie Jaulo endorses Senator Darius DeLong's proposed bill calling for the reduction of all lawmakers' salary from US $8,000 to US $5,000 monthly, urges Liberians to petition their lawmakers to support the bill. And away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament has accused British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental destruction while training in the country. These are stories we're following here this morning on King's News Broom. We are taking another short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the voices of the news makers. Thanks for rejoining and welcome back. On this development now this morning, the head of Liberia's parliamentary delegation to ECOWAS, Senator Edwin Snow, has emphasized the urgent need for stronger measures to ensure the sustainability of peace and the protection of democratic governance across the sub-region. Senator Snow remarks follow the November 26th military coup in Guinea-Bissau, during which the military announced they had taken full control of the country. Addressing the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja, Nigeria, Senator Snow condemned the military takeover in Guinea-Bissau, describing it as a threat to democratic stability in West Africa.
Mr. Ibala was taken from his presidential palace, escorted to the airport by the very military, put in a private jet, and sent off to Senegal. But he was overthrown and arrested. But members of the opposition, the main opposition leader, Domingo, the candidate in the election, because that they were all arrested by the military. Our fellow ECOWAS parliamentarians have been arrested. So how can this be a military coup or the military only arresting the opposition And Mr. Mbalo and members of his cabinet are benefiting from what he called a coup. I will close my speaker to tell you, as chairman of the Committee on Political Affairs, Peace, Security, and African Care Review Mechanism of the ECOWAS Parliament, I can stay here on the board and tell you that it was not a coup in the South. It was orchestrated by Mr. Mbalo, and ECOWAS was encouraged Congo, where Mr. Mbalo is, putting under pressure to correct the situation in this country. But even in Congo, I'm told he's in contact. He's in contact with the military, he's in contact with some members in this parliament here today. It is unfair for that coup, and this parliament should condemn it to the highest level as for me. Thank you.
He's Broom County Senator and head of ECWA. That's ECWA's dedication. Senator Edwin Melvin Snow there speaking. In a related development, Broom County District 6 Representative Moiman Brice Mensah has blasted ECOWAS for overlooking conflict triggers in countries that lead coup d'etat, but only condemned when the damage is already done. She mentioned the fourth-term institution in the Ivory Coast, the political issues on Gambia, the Togo, and the insecurity in northern Nigeria as issues that are either supported by some members or downplayed. What do you when it's in our field as parliament members, we continue it. What the board went for fourth term. Everybody in our police said, yes, he's doing well. This is the only person that can maintain the peace. But then someone decided to say, only parliament members will vote for us. And that went away. Everyone was silent about it. Gambia is saying now, they changed the constitution. They were able to say they went to war franco. But now they are saying, we don't care. Nothing is in our constitution that says you can't vote for charity. No one is saying anything. We agree, it's fine agree. We may hear getting contrary reports from one thing to another. Nigeria has never mentioned one day about the forest. One day than the total. Then they say, just small part of the forest are there. Why don't you talk about it one day? You're waiting for one man to come before you tell us where they are. And now the president was able to report all of the police. They say, boy, I know this happen. They're really going on. The guy just used the military trip for 9 this morning campaign. It's going to work more than us. You speak parliament and we accept. Where do we compare? When the parliament is not again, I think we need to take another approach. Let's go for similar. Let's learn how to approach this issue and speak about it. Not so, sooner or later we'll be left for 5 countries. And you know why? Because Liberia believe in the Western world. Sierra Leone believe also in the Western world, British. Ghana also the same. So we will go parallel with them. And we will look at the constitution and we'll get 2 terms. And the rest of the people will go scot-free. Sooner or later, Guinea-Bissau will say we are going in North Sahara. Because we want them. Let's take another approach when we come for here, go to a serious seminar and see how best we can do this. Condemning is not the only thing. But how can we stop this? How can we resolve what is being amended? And it's not right. It will help us as parliamentarians to make the right step. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. She's Broom County District Number 6 Representative and member of ECOWAS Dedication Representative Moiman Brice Mensah there speaking. District Number 10 Representative Yeke Koluba has criticized House Speaker Richard Combs and Deputy Speaker Thomas Falla for failing to extend condolences following the death of his mother. Representative Koluba noted that several national leaders, including former President George Weah, former Speaker Funatit Kofa Jefferson Koji, Senate Pro Tempore Yombli Kanga Lawrence, the Unity Party Chairman Luther Tape, had reached out to sympathize with him during his loss. Speaking on Wednesday that's when supporters of the Coalition for Democratic Change visited him at his residence. Representative Koluba said he had informed members of the House of Representatives about his mother's passing through their official chat room, but claimed no one colleague responded, suggesting he was merely seeking financial assistance.
I decided not to talk politics for the next 2 months. But let me say this to the Liberian people. Since my mother died, I posted in the chat room of the House of Representatives, Mr. Kuhn, the regime speaker, Mr. Thomas Fala, the regime deputy speaker, had never placed a call to me. And they said they are honor the instruction of Mr. Boakai not to place a call to me. But it's not going to move me. In our chat room, one of the regime lawmakers posted in the chat room of the House of Representatives. I announced that my mother is there because I want to look for money. It is okay. I will respond to him at the appropriate time. And when I respond to him, the Liberian people will feel and see my response. And in responding to him, I will respond to a lot of people at the appropriate time. And my response will be very dirty. That the earth will not be able to hold my response. Anybody that want to come to respond to my response will feel the weight of the opposition. I want to say a very good thing. We were on Saturday when my mother passed out. I received a call from the former president, Ambassador George Manuel Weah. I received a call from the former vice president, Madam Joel Howard Taylor. And I also saw on that ground member of the opposition. Kalasco was there. And since the passing of my mother, the only people I've seen are the black of the opposition. I saw the former speaker, he came here. I got a call from a few members of the executive on their own. I got a call from the hotel. I got a call from Dallas Dillon. I got a call from the port managing director. I got a call from the former finance minister on the 12th. He called me. We want to say to you people that we are members of the opposition, we will not be deterred. Nothing will take us from the opposition. I want to say to members of the opposition that nothing. I wrote a communication to the House of Representatives. Let me just say this. In the 2024 budget and the 2025 budget, I have now received money for district number 10. The people have refused to give the district money for development. People are asking, what have you done for district number 10? You should be asking the government, what have you given to the representative for district number 10? If I get, I will deliver. My salary is not for me at district number 10, in my family. And I will always say this. Let them do what they can do. We will respond at the appropriate time. Sir Comrade, I want to say to you and the opposition here, I really appreciate you people, and we will work together to ensure that the Unity Party become a history component.
He's Montserrat County District Representative Yeke Kolobade speaking. The Solidarity and Church for a New Day has vowed to resist any attempt to detour its peaceful protesters from station protests on the road between the Executive Mansion and the Capitol Building on December 17 in Monrovia. STAN's National Chairman Moba Molu said no amount of negotiation, hot water tanks and bullets from the Liberian National Police would detour the December 17 protests from taking place at the property of the Liberian people. Molu, during a press conference on Tuesday, argued that if the group that staged protests against the proliferation of dangerous substances could be allowed to stage protests on the road between the Executive Mansion and the Capitol Building, STAN cannot be stopped from staging its peaceful protests at the front of the Executive Mansion.
We are coming outside on December 17 in most capitals of different countries, especially in Montserrat, where thousands of Liberians will turn out from 6 a.m. on the 17th of December at the premises of the Executive Mansion to peacefully make demands that are consistent with the Constitution of the Republic that gives citizens the right, the constitutional obligation to require of their governors or their state actors the need to take proactive democratic actions of reform when their safety or their security so requires. The safety and security of Liberians at this time requires the need for a peaceful and not violent democratic revolution in Liberia. That revolution begins on December 17, and it is irreversible. And once it is initiated, it will not be cut off until Joseph Yimon Boakai will make the wise decision to listen to the demands of the people and commence a scrupulous process to implement all the demands that will be contained in our assembly on that day. We will be very peaceful, we will be law-abiding, but we will be fearless, and we will converge at the executive mansion. And the decision of the people to converge at a property that is a custody of the citizens will not be negotiated. It will not be negotiated. It will not be deterred. No by tear gas canisters, nor by hot water trucks, or by police bullets. On December 17, we will not be detoured. We will not be turned around. We will not take no for an answer. The Liberian people in their thousands, possibly in the tens of thousands, will converge right before the front yard, the front pavement of the executive mansion, because that place is the property of the people, and the people will not be denied the right to converge on their property. Any justification to the contrary that will seek to deny the people their right to converge at that very spot will not only be contested, but will be resisted, will be fought with every inch of our blood, ideologically, of course peacefully, because it is by precedent that citizens can be allowed to assemble that very spot. And we will not be denied our right because we are Liberian citizens.
He's stands National Chairman Model, yes, speaking. Well, folks, with the time half past the hour. If you're just joining us, a reminder you're listening to King's News Run, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest afterwards. Today is Thursday, December 4th, 2025, and I'm Newton Tukwa presenting stories we're following this morning. Head of Liberia's parliamentary delegation to ECOWAS, Senator Edwin Snow calls for stronger measures to ensure the sustainability and protection of democratic governance across the sub-region. Terms Guinea-Bissau military takeover as a threat to democracy. Liberia's Anti-Corruption Commission resumes prosecution of latest officials accused of misappropriating funds allocated for the 2022 National and Population Housing Census. Namod Partners Executive Director Eddie Jalo endorses Senator Darius Dillon's proposed bill calling for the reduction of all lawmakers' salary from US $8,000 to $5,000 monthly, urges Liberians to petition their lawmakers to support the bill. Away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament has accused British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental destruction while training in the country. These are stories we followed here this morning on King's News Ground. We are taking another short break. When we come back, we continue with more voices on the program. And on this one, down CDC Bond County chapter is set to break ground for the construction of its new party headquarters on Saturday, December 6th in Banga. Speaking to reporters at the proposed groundbreaking site, James Tower Zwanan, acting chairman of the CDC in Bond County, said the initiative has been fully undertaken by partisans in the county.
So my name is James Tower Zwanan. I'm the county chair of the Mighty Congress for Democratic Change. So this is where we hope to do the party headquarters. From concept, the party have been renting to buildings around. So we start making our own in this place we do for the party headquarters in this land to be owned by Congress of Democratic Change. So those who are voting under the always the same we go for the Congress of Democratic Change. I think that they're very okay with supporters, giving all their input, Macaulay all sharing into place. They are very good. They have been so wonderful. Because of that, we are here today. So they will be clear. Months from now, you come there and see, a gigantic building here. I just know we're looking like a new city, palace. Trust me. And so, yeah, this will be the party there. Once you don't want to see CDC, okay, you have to close your eyes and park. So coming from Ganja, coming from Monrovia, no option. You don't want to see this party. You have to close your eyes and then run through the street and pass the building. So we expect massive support. The support has already started coming. And that's why you see what we do. It will take us no time to build this party here for you. It's not Monrovia initiated, it's just the parties in here. And we tell you, Brown County is ready this time to deliver to the Congress of Democratic Change. So, we got what for president now. It's a complete breakthrough for us. So, we now that just want to see. Just wait to see October 2029. George Weah is coming to this country to take the mountain from authority. There is no pain and about that. You don't believe that? Just watch and see October 2029. You will see the difference. And George Weah is coming back to deliver this country from those who the people rescue. Because we don't see anything about rescue. But George Weah, real rescue, and you see it right now. My name is James Towers One. Okay.
He's CDC Brown County Chapter Chairman James Tower Zwana, yes, speaking. The Liberian National Police on Tuesday received a new supply of high-performance Samsung tablets donated by the International Development Law Organization with support from the U.S. government aimed at enhancing crime data collection and indicator reporting nationwide. The devices are expected to improve the management and documentation of trafficking in persons cases across the country. Delivering RDLO country manager Shinyilungo Oko commended the strong partnership between RDLO and the LMP supported by the U.S. Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs since 2018, which continues to advance investigations, expand tip awareness, and strengthen the quality of trafficking data.
This donation is part of our efforts over time to support the capacity of institutions involved in the TRT response. We have been supporting the police since 2018 and working directly with them to enhance the investigation of cases. This is also specifically in the information technology section that houses the TRT. We have carried out several trainings with capacity development initiatives over time across the country, and we want to thank Liberian National Police Department. Because I do not think that the results that we have achieved that are possible without the willingness and the participation and contribution of the LNC. And this is not, I'm happy to see that this our initiative has not been focused in Monrovia, but it's been very decentralized and contributing all across the country. Over the past year, we've been very intentional around increasing awareness in trafficking persons. Again, across the country, and last year rolled out a national education program. We did that in partnership with community services sections of the Liberian National Police, Liberian Information Service, Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency. And I think that has been very successful, and that has also led to an uptick in the number of human trafficking cases that have been reported. And because of that as well, we have over the last year been very intentional to work with.
Speaking at the handover ceremony, U.S. Ambassador Shashi Affairs Joe Zaitranen praised RDLO's leadership and reaffirmed the United States' commitment to supporting Liberia's rule of law institutions.
It's an honor to be here with you today as we continue to strengthen our partnership and deepen our shared commitment to justice and security. I want to begin by commending IDLO for its outstanding work in delivering U.S. government-sponsored law enforcement programs here in Liberia. I also want to recognize UNDP for its important contribution to establishing the Crime Statistics Information System, the CSIS, which laid the foundation for today's initiative. This handover builds on the progress by expanding CSIS, in capturing trafficking in persons cases and ensuring even more comprehensive and credible crime reporting. To the Liberian National Police, I extend my respect and gratitude. Dedication, professionalism, and sacrifices you demonstrate every day build a safer society and inspire confidence in the rule of law. In the 5 months since I've arrived in Liberia, I've already seen how the LNP has grown into a stronger institution, handling complex challenges with integrity, transparency, and commitment to service. I also want to reaffirm the U.S. government remains a steadfast partner in Liberia and its law enforcement agencies. While our government's foreign policy focus continues to evolve, including a shift towards commercial diplomacy, our commitment to supporting the rule of law and security remains strong. This handover today reflects that enduring partnership, and I'm confident it will not be the last.
Also speaking, LNP Inspector General Gregory Coleman expressed gratitude to RDLO and the U.S. government, UNDP, for their continued support. He emphasized that the new digital tools will modernize police operations and bolster Liberia's national response to human trafficking.
A few days ago, the third level was elevated in West Africa for terrorism, the Chad Basin, and absolutely no country in West Africa is immune at this point in time. The need for us to transition to more informed security solutions by data analytics and everyone's data. And at this point in time, investigation is extremely critical because we're moving beyond just working as a unit and looking into the sub-region and seeing how we can bring together countries that are good at each other to reduce further risk factor of transmission of organized crime, strengthen our resolve and operate as one with the CSIS network. It is our hope that what the UNDP and the US government provided for us do not remain just as it is, and we are committed to expanding it to be able to speak into practice and expand the data without adding on to what has been given unto us, training more officers, making doing the research more effective. We are engaged with external partners.
Is Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman there speaking. And away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament has accused British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental destruction while training in the country. The report detailed horrid testimony from communities in Laikipia and Samburu counties near the military training bases. The British soldiers are accused of evading accountability by refusing to cooperate with the parliamentary investigation. For decades, troops from British Army Training Unit in Kenya have been training in central Kenya, but their presence has long attracted controversy, while soldiers accused of misconduct and rights abuses. More than 1,000 Kenyan soldiers receive British training each year, while thousands of UK troops are sent to Kenya for training exercises. In a 94-page report following a 2-year inquiry, Kenya's Parliamentary Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations accused Baku of continued ethical breaches, rights violations, and environmental negligence, as well as employment and labor concerns. On that note, I would like to go home this morning on this edition of the program King's News, run the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. But just before we go home this morning, let's remind you of stories we've been following. Head of Liberia's parliamentary delegation to ECOWAS, Senator Edwin Snow calls for stronger measures to ensure sustainability and protection of democratic governance across the sub-region, terms Guinea-Bissau military takeover as threat to democracy across the world. Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission resumes prosecution of latest officials accused of misappropriating funds allocated for the 2022 National Population and Housing Census. NAMOD Partner Executive Director Eddie Jawlo endorses Senator Darius Dillon's proposed bill calling for the reduction of all lawmakers' salary for US 8,000 to US 5,000 monthly, urges Liberians to petition their lawmakers to support the bill. And away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament has accused British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, environmental destruction while training in the country. These are stories we follow here this morning on King's News Broom. I would like to say many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, news editors who helped in making this package. Our sources better still join us this afternoon at 1 o'clock, at which time we will be here for another splendid edition of the program. My name is Newton Tukba. Thanks for listening and watching. Good morning.